Today on Yarra Rangers Live TV, we are joined by the Deputy Premier of Victoria, the Minister for Education and Emergency Services, and as I mentioned last time, a previous Mount Lillard College student and alumni, Mr. James Merlino. Thank you very much for joining us on Yarra Rangers Live TV.
Good to talk to you.
Today we are talking Bushfire Risk and Readiness, which is a fantastic program that's been rolled out by the Andrews Government and the Department of Education. Mr. Merlino, could you share a little bit about the program with us?
Yep, absolutely. This is all about making sure our schools are as safe as they can possibly be, particularly for the couple of hundred schools that are in bushfire risk areas. And obviously, representing the Dandenong Rangers, this is an issue close to the heart of many schools in our community. So the program is all about looking at the shelter in place. Mm-hmm. So particularly post Black Saturday, yes. The policy was changed. Now, if there is a code red day, schools in bushfire risk areas close. Mm-hmm. On extreme days, some schools even decant their students, shift to another school in a different area. But what we wanted to do, it's been, Black Saturday was 2009, it's appropriate now to do an audit of all our schools in bushfire risk areas to see what improvements need to be made. Mm-hmm. So this is a $10 million program auditing the shelter in place in every school. So every school's got a shelter in place where students could and teachers would go to in an emergency, and it's looking at things such as vegetation removal, whether shutters need to be improved or put in place, mm-hmm. Sprinklers, water tanks and the like. Here at Sylvan Primary School, their audit was done I think last week, mm-hmm. and they will share in the $10 million program.
Fantastic, and of course being the Yarra Rangers and the Yarra Valley, there's a lot of schools that could technically be at risk of bushfire and in those bushfire areas. And as you said, Sylvan's one of those schools that have I think they're part of Tranche 3, looking at the list from memory.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we looked at those at highest risk, those mm-hmm. in the flame zone, if
yes.
you like. So yes. There's, as parents would know for their homes and their communities, there's a ranking of risk. Mm-hmm. So we've had 3 stages of looking at the audit, implementing the changes, but we'll make sure that for next fire season, every school's been audited and any upgrade that's required has been done.
Fantastic. So, and these schools have been identified by the department?
Yeah, so there's a lot of work that happens, and this is with both my portfolio hats on.
Yes.
So Department of Education's been working closely with Emergency Management Victoria.
Fantastic.
And of course working closely with Fire Services, the local CFA, as well.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. And when can the local schools that might be at risk begin to tap into the program? When will we see some results?
Well, what we want to do is make sure that the audits are done and then the work progresses through the course of this year, mm-hmm. So that for the start of the fire season, the 17-18 fire season,
yes.
Those improvements have been made. I know at my girls' school, talking to the principal there, their number one concern is making sure that they've got shutters yes. In the top windows of the shelter in place.
Fantastic.
And every school not only needs to identify a shelter in place, but have an emergency management plan. Mm-hmm. We've improved the way that schools can communicate with parents as well via text mm-hmm. as well, mm-hmm. so in an emergency. So not just fire, but any emergency that may occur in our schools. The most important thing is that for parents, we're confident and we're comforted with the knowledge that everything possible has been done to make sure that our kids are safe.
Fantastic. And by the sounds of this Bushfire Risk and Readiness program, the current Andrews Government, of course with your stewardship at the Department of Education and Emergency Services, you guys are addressing the issues that are certainly of concern for having been being a parent of a child at a school in a bushfire zone. It certainly brings a bit of peace of mind to
yep.
me, which is wonderful.
And it's something you always think about.
Absolutely. On those hot days, you always get a little bit nervous.
And it doesn't need to be, code red day, schools close, but on extreme days, on severe days, we can still have bushfires. So that's why we need to do this.
Fantastic. Look, Mr. Merlino, thank you so much for your time and your comments here on Yarra Rangers Live TV, and keep up the good work.
Thanks very much, Pat.
Thank you.